Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am the Crimson Tea and today I'll be talking about the recent Diablo 4 quarterly update for March 29th, 2022. So without further ado, let's go! As is already customary, Blizzard released a new quarterly update for Diablo 4, in which they talk about how the development of the game is going. They go over a varying range of aspects from in-game systems to sound design, and this latest is focused on environment art and how Diablo 4 is a much darker game, with quite a different atmosphere compared to what we were used to. This update is full of videos and screenshots showcasing much of what is talked about, and we are able to see several parts of the game in the form of small snippets, but this really helped to deliver the idea to us, the common Diablo players. Something that caught my eye, especially after the recent success of Elden Ring, is this. I am excited to talk about the open world in Diablo 4. We have 5 captivating zones to explore. Each region is fraught with dangers of their own kind, many routes and hidden corners to uncover. How you choose to make your way through this vast world is up to you. The art and design teams have constructed a continuous world where you can roam from coast to coast or high up into the glacial ridges. Can we somehow expect Diablo 4 to have a story progression akin to Zelda Breath of the Wild or Elden Ring? In case you are not familiar with those games, long story short, they allow you to freely choose where to go, by having several enormous open world areas, complemented with dungeons of course, spread around the different parts of the continent, and while your main goal is pretty set in stone, defeat the big bad boss, each player is allowed to freely roam around and pick which other bosses and story points they complete. This in turn affects which tools you have access to when facing off against the big baddie, in the form of straight up higher power level difference between you two, or altogether lack of weapon or skill choices, because you opted out of getting them. Trying to imagine this type of game design in a Diablo game is quite fun, but I fear Blizzard will be straying too much out of what they are known for. And while I can clearly see a Diablo 4 where we have, for example, 2 zones in parallel, I would assume the game will only allow us to freely switch between them, but not altogether skip one, because core story components are certain to be tied to the major events present in both zones, and Blizzard tends to make RPGs more linearly. Further ahead in the article, the devs talk about how the game will be releasing with more than 150 dungeons, all across Sanctuary. And they further explain some of the techniques used in order to make so many, while still making them feel fresh and different from one another. As a starting point, we have the tile set system, which in its essence is a form of making content by having different small pieces of a map, the tiles, come together and form different patterns. I assume Diablo 3 Rift system works in much the same manner, although there is a very clear issue in those rifts, which is due to the original maps not being planned for the level of procedurally generation. The tiles in Diablo 3 ended up being way too narrow and not fitting in other pieces. It's like whenever you saw that one room, you already knew the next 6 ones, because there were no other options for it to be. To avoid this type of issue, Diablo 4 will have several systems and layers working together. There will be some prop layers on top of the tiles, allowing what seems to be a druidic themed cavern to be a simple cave by turning on or off that one switch. And it's easy to imagine this type of system being implemented across other map types. The devs also talked about how different light effects are able to easily change the mood of a room, but there's another very interesting technique, and those are the tile set transition scenes. Imagine it as tiles specifically handcrafted to be connectors between tiles of different themes. The example given is a transition between a ruined keep and a deeper floor already flooded and with a very different mood, which comes together seamlessly by the use of one of those transition tiles. As you can see, this dev update wasn't much focused on raw gameplay or systems your average player needs to worry about. But it's still very cool to see the environments and understand the inner works of the level design present in Diablo 4. Anyhow, this is all for today's video. I'll leave the link for the article in the video description in case you want to read it properly. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.